So after my trip to the lube shop, I was a little bit concerned, and I thought I'm seeing a lot of things wrong with this 4Runner. I'm not an expert, a body expert. Uh, as you can tell, it all looks pretty good. Uh, it's, from just taking a quick look at it, and you would think that they would have fixed it to some standards. Whoever fixed it, wanting to sell it. So I thought, well, I'm going to take it to a body shop and let them tell me how, fix it. Probably be $1,000. I was thinking that's okay. I don't want to have to keep worrying about everything, and I'll let them look at it. So I ended up taking it to a body shop. Now I'm gonna go sit down and tell you the rest. So I took it to a body shop. They looked at it, and after as they went over it, they kind of pointed a few things out. They said that the rear bumper was misaligned, which I could kind of see that. And they said that shouldn't be like that. That they gave me was $4,500 and something to do all the repair work to get it to rebuilt standards. Okay, after I purchased the car, and replaced the headlights, I decided to remove the aftermarket lights in the grille and the lights above the hood, which were kind of in the way. So while doing that, I fixed the upper plastic grill piece that was misaligned and not clipped in properly. You can see the before and after pictures of that. After about 400 miles, the warning lights came on. It went into Christmas tree mode, I might say. The panel just had like all the warning lights came on, and I couldn't get it into. I could only put it into low. My sensor reader, it would only reset it, and then after putting a few miles on it, it would just go back to the limp home mode with the Christmas tree on. So I knew I had to get a better sensor, so I went online. So online, I found a better sensor that would tell me what the error codes were and give me better diagnostic information. So I bought it, came in the mail, I connected it up. That told me that the speed sensor was bad on the right rear speed sensor. And that's happened to be where the most of the damage was to the vehicle, was on the right rear. And you can see from the damage that tire was ripped off the rim. I've got some more stories with that. I ended up buying the speed sensors. They were $22 for 4 of them, and ordered the speed sensors. And while I was ordering the speed sensors, I also went ahead and ordered the cable. Wanted to make sure that wasn't also the problem, so I ordered the cables for the left and the right. It's the rear cables for the speed sensors. Started replacing those things myself, which is not that difficult. So as I replaced the speed sensor, I pulled it out. I noticed that it looked pretty dirty and oily, greasy, and I'm not an expert on what it's supposed to look like in there, and I just figured there is oil in there, so maybe that's normal. And it had been working, so it wasn't erroring. It did at least put 400 miles on without an error, but eventually it did error. So I replaced the speed sensor. That didn't fix anything. I replaced the wiring harnesses, and that actually caused even more errors, because I think the old wiring connector with the new wiring connector, they didn't like each other too much, because the old one and the new one didn't, even though they matched up and plugged in, I think there was something off on them, and ended up putting the old ones back on and sending the new ones that I had bought and back for a refund. After doing my replacing the speed sensor and the wiring harness and not fixing the problem, I this I kind of focused it. I thought it's probably the tone ring, and I can't fix the tone ring because I knew the bearings were all part. The bearing and the axle was all one unit, and I'm not capable of pressing bearings on and off to get the tone ring fixed. So I took it to a friend mechanic that's a professional mechanic, and he has a shop in his garage. I took it over to him, and I told him I think it's the tone ring, and he told me, well, let me look at it and make sure, because I think he thought, uh, I bet it's the speed sensor or something else. I'll fix it. Mechanic checked out the speed sensor, did just what I had done, and the cable. He did notice that the cable, which I noticed too, had a pretty poor splice on it, and he respliced it and soldered the cable, thinking, oh, maybe that was the problem, and plugged it all back in, and it wasn't. He called me and told me that it needs a new tone ring, and he said to do that it's $500 plus probably 6 hours of labor to press the bearings on and off, and replace the axle. The mechanic said there's a axle housing that you can get for $500 from Dorman, I think he said, and you could get one of those, and I'd put it on. Wouldn't be as much money. I thought that's what I'll do. And he told me where to go order the axle housing, or not the axle housing, I'm jumping ahead, where I can order the right rear axle. And then my computer popped up and said I could get one on Amazon for $410. So I went on to Amazon, and Amazon told me I could get one for $198. That was a mint rebuild or mint return. Knowing that I could get one for $198 that was a mint return, I called my friend and said, let's just order this $198 one, and if it looks good, let's put that one on. And if it doesn't look good, let's send it back, because I can return it. It won't cost me anything. And he said, yeah, sounds like a good idea. You're going to save a lot of money. That's what I did. Replaced the axle, pulled the old one out, put the new one in, showed me how gummed up the tone ring was on the old one and all the gunk that was in there. He tried cleaning it out before. He mentioned that he had tried cleaning it out, and it just kept pouring out gunk, black grindings. So now with a 4Runner that I thought was working fine, I added up everything that I had spent so far, about $1,332, and I thought the dealer should pay some of that or all of it. After contacting the dealer, sent him a letter telling him I wanted $1,332. They called me back and said, yeah, we're sorry. We want to help you out, which was really, I thought that was pretty good of them. They said, we can't give you what you want, but we can give you $400. They Venmoed me $400. I thought they're trying to do their best. They didn't know how bad it was. I didn't know how bad. We all have perfect hindsight, but we don't have perfect foresight. They sent me the $400, and I just thought, well, we just all missed things that we shouldn't have missed, but that's how things go. After the dealer sent me the $400, I was pleased. I thought, okay, I got a 4Runner now that is dependable and I can use. I drove it. I started driving it a little bit more between Ogden and Salt Lake, because up until then, I hadn't really had it that much, because it was always just sitting there waiting for something to get fixed on it. I put probably 2,000 more miles on it. I was getting ready to let my son take it from Utah to Arkansas so he could go visit his family members. My wife happened to notice that the back tires were totally bald. Thought, oh, I better go get some new tires on it. And I probably need to get it aligned, because there's no way. The front tires are not worn out. The back tires are totally bald. That's not normal, and it's probably some alignment issue. So I took it into a tire store to have them give me 2 or 4 tires. I was trying to decide what to do and do an alignment. So while I was in the tire store debating whether 2 or 4 tires, the 2 tires that I wanted, they didn't have, and they said, oh, we'll order them, we'll get them in the store. So while I was waiting for the 2 tires, they went ahead and did an alignment, which was great. So they did the alignment, and I have the alignment that they did. And when they did the alignment, before putting the tires on, they said, this is badly bent, and you need to go to a frame shop. It's off by 2.42 degrees on one side, and it was 0.3 something on the other side.